Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick made some terrible comments on Fox News this week, and this went viral all over the place. And it went viral for obvious reasons. You're about to find out why.
Living in fear of is what's happening to this country. And, you know, Tucker, no one reached out to me and said, as a senior citizen, are you willing to take a chance on your survival in exchange for keeping the America that all America loves for your children and grandchildren? And if that's the exchange, I'm all in. And that doesn't make me noble or brave or anything like that. I just think there are lots of grandparents out there in this country, like me, I have 6 grandchildren, that what we all care about and what we love more than anything are those children. And I want to, you know, live smart and see through this, but I don't want the whole country to be sacrificed. And that's what I see. I've talked to hundreds of people, Tucker, and just in the last week, and making calls all the time. And everyone says pretty much the same thing, that we can't lose our whole country. We're having an economic collapse. I'm also a small businessman. I understand it. And I talk with business people all the time, Tucker. And my heart is lifted tonight by what I heard the president say, because we can do more than, you know, one thing at a time. We can do 2 things. So, you know, my message is that let's get back to work. Let's get back to living. Let's be smart about it. And those of us who are 70 plus, we'll take care of ourselves, but don't sacrifice the country. Don't do that. Don't ruin this great American dream.
So you're basically saying that this disease could take your life, but that's not the scariest thing to you. There's something that would be worse than dying.
Yeah.
That's not the trade-off on the table. The real trade-off is, hey, do you want to sacrifice grandma and grandpa to the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ? And by the way, it still won't stop plummeting. So either stay home, try not to get the virus, and have an economic collapse, or go to work, maybe get the virus, and have an economic collapse. The idea that they think they could just, like, white knuckle this thing. Like, everybody just shut up and go back to work. Everything will be fine. Let's just go back to what was going on before we had a pandemic. Everybody go act like there's not a pandemic. That's not going to work. You're still going to see the stock market implode. It's too late. It's gonzo. It's going down. We already have seen the reverberating effects. We already have 3.3 million new unemployed people. Officially, that doesn't include a lot of people who are unofficially unemployed, and that there are going to be reverberating effects from that for a long time. We're already talking about a crisis that's going to be a hell of a lot worse than the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis and Great Recession. The wheels are already in motion. The airline industry, forget about it. The hotel industry, forget about it. The casino industry, forget about it. The cruise ship industry, forget about it. The restaurant industry, forget about it. It's already too late. You can't just wake up and say, you know, I know we have a pandemic, but the American way of life is amazing. So if everybody just goes to work and keeps on keeping on, then you're fine. No, what you're doing is you're saying, let's increase the number of people with the virus. Let's increase the number of deaths from the virus. And also, let's continue to have this economic collapse because it's happening no matter what. There's no such thing as like just act like it's just go back out there and just fire the economy back up. It's not a freaking lawnmower. It's a complex thing. So that's not even if we accept what he's saying, which is insane to do, and I'm not going to accept it. But even if we do, it's not. There's not like somebody tweeted this. Internet Hippo tweeted this. Like 2 big buttons in front of him, like economy do good. And, you know, save people's lives. Like, those are the options. Like, okay, if we click economy do good, people die. But if we click, you know, if people die, the economy's gone. It's like, no, it's not a trade-off like that. It's not that simple. It's a lot more complex. So what they want to do is send people back to work. And guys, they're stupid enough to actually sit there and think like, okay, we sent everything back to normal. Here we are. You know, earlier mid-April, sending everything back to normal. So let's see. I bet the economy bounces back and the stock market goes up. And they'll sit there and watch. And I guarantee you within a week, you'll have more giant implosions. Of course you're going to have more giant implosions. So even if we accept what he's saying, it's insane because that's not how it's going to unfold. But beyond that, and this is the point everybody else has been making, hold on. You guys were screaming about death panels under the Obama administration from the top of your lungs. And now you've totally embraced this idea of death panels. You want grandma and grandpa to line up and maybe die and kill themselves for the sake of the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ. By the way, he says everybody I've talked to said this. Really? Everybody I've talked to says the exact opposite. They're like, no, I'm not. Are you kidding me? Sacrifice ourselves for the frickin' stock prices? Seriously? Are you insane? Not in a million years would I want to do that. Of course not. Why would I want to do such a thing? This isn't even, like, it's not even like you're asking for, you know, the sacrifice of, we have to fight the world's greatest evil, Hitler. And so we're going to go to war against him. And people lay down their lives to fight this genuinely great evil. But now you're saying, like, sacrifice yourself to the Dow Jones. Sacrifice yourself to keep stock prices up, which is really only enriching the people at the top. See, that's the thing with the stock market. It's a scam because when the stock market does well, they privatize the profits. And the people who do well are the owners of the companies and the shareholders and the, the 1%. The people at the top, the rich people who own stocks, and the people in the companies and the owners. They're the people who really reap the rewards and the benefits. But then when the stock market goes down, they're not the only people who feel the pain. Because people get fired and laid off, and it reverberates throughout the entire economy. So you privatize the profits and then socialize the losses, and you get a bailout. And so the people who just lost their jobs and just got fired, their tax money ends up bailing out these people again, even more at the top. So it's not, you're asking people to sacrifice themselves for the least noble thing imaginable. The least noble thing imaginable. Man. Any Republicans out there who consider themselves even a tiny percent, even 20% populist, these are your people over here? Come get your boy. He's not the only one saying it, by the way. Glenn Beck, same thing. Same argument on his show. It is now becoming a commonly held position among, thought leaders on the right, among public personas on the right, where they're like, I don't just go back to normal, everything, just go back like everything's normal. I don't see the problem. Sure, it'll add to tens of thousands of more, maybe hundreds of thousands more people with the virus. Sure, thousands and thousands of people will die from the virus on top of what's already happening, but Dow Jones and the NASDAQ and, rich people gotta make money and numbers on screen go up. Must see numbers on screen go up. Must see numbers. I want to protect my family from dying. Shut up. Number on screen must go up. Oh, man. Oh, God. Ask yourself this question. Why is it other countries are reacting rationally to this, and the United States is already contemplating throwing up its hands and rage quitting and saying, you know what? Fuck it. Shut up and go back to work, and whatever happens, happens. Other countries can handle such a crisis. We're about to go into the phase of the crisis where we just stop pretending that there's actually a crisis. You have cancer, you go get 1 or 2 treatments, and then you're just like, I'm good. I'm good. And people are like, bro, you're gonna die if you stop. No, I'm just gonna. It's a way of life that not get the treatment and just act like I don't have sickness. What? What are you doing? Go get the treatment. Stop it. By the same token, stay inside. Stay inside. Stay inside. Absolutely stay inside, because the economy is going to implode anyway, and you should be healthy, and you should be safe, and you should be secure, and we shouldn't have to do such a brazen trade-off. We must sacrifice our people to the market gods, yeah! We must sacrifice them at the altar of free market fundamentalism. And actually, that's not fair, because this isn't a free market. This is corporate socialism. This is corporatism. Bail out the rich, bail out the corporations, bail out the 1%, bail out the owner class, give them the key to the treasury and let them loot it as far as the eye can see. That's not capitalism, because capitalism, if you go bankrupt, you go bankrupt. That's it. So this isn't even that. It's not even free market fundamentalism. It's corporate fundamentalism. It's corporatist fundamentalism. They really do believe it like it's a religion and like it's a cult. It's a death cult. Literally, it's a death cult. You just act like nothing's wrong and go and shut up. This is mainstream discourse in America in 2020 during a roaring pandemic.